चलो एक्सक्यूज मी थोड़ा सा साइड में हो जाओ यार।
दादा
एक मिनट एक मिनट एक मिनट थोड़ा पीछे आओ। एक मिनट विद्या जी
Let them take the pictures. I think.
विद्या जी
यही पे
हाँ
दादा-
पिक्चर कर दो।
दादा
दादा थोड़ा साइड में आ जाओ।
हाँ पाजी
राइट मैम या मैम स्ट्रेट हियर
मैम लेफ्ट
थैंक यू।
चलो नहीं बहुत टाइम हो जाएगा।
चलो नहीं तो ले लो अंदर ये
चलो हो गया
Vidya, we can go here as well. Lovely blouse. Ma'am, have what tables. You spoke to them before the release?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming.
That's a bit much for me also. I speak very basic Tamil. Hi everyone.
A very warm welcome to all of you.
That's embarrassing. Sorry.
A very warm welcome to all of you, especially to Vidya Balan. Before we get to the task of unveiling the book, I just want to give Vidya a message from the ISRO women scientists.
Right.
Yeah, when I told them that we are going to be launching this book in Mumbai, they said, please tell her that we really appreciate her work and we think she's an amazing actress.
Oh wow, thank you. You
This
just
comes
made
from
my
Nandini
day.
Harinal
Thank
and
you.
our teachers.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we'll just unveil the book and then we'll start.
Yeah, just tell it. Yay! Some noise, guys! Congratulations!
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah?
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. So sweet.
So I'll just take a minute to tell you how I started writing this book and when and why. So like most people, I didn't have a clue about the Mars mission women scientists till I saw that picture, that iconic picture of all the women in the gajras and the Kanjivaram silks, and so that it just piqued my interest. And then in 2016, I went for a women's seminar organized by IWN because three of the scientists were slated speakers: Ritu Karidhar, Maumika Datta, and Meenal.
Okay.
So they spoke for about 45 minutes, and they were so fantastic that I thought this deserves a bigger story. I mean, it's a big story. They deserve for me to write a book. And they spoke not just of their work, but the way that they balance their their personal life and their families, their children. They juggle so many balls in the air, and they all do it without any fuss and feathers. So for me, that was the most significant part. One of them said, yeah, so in the day we work in the office and then we come back home and we work at night, and somewhere in between we look after our children and we send a rocket to space. So it reminded me of the Tata Steel ad. We also make steel.
Right.
So that is how it started, and then it took a long time to get permission with ISRO. And then after about 4 months or so, I started the round of interviews, and I met a total of 21 women scientists in ISRO, and all the main Mangalyaan ones. And I really felt that these people perform such difficult and amazing tasks in very tight deadlines with very frugal budgets, and they do it without any fuss or feathers. So that is the principal aim of writing the book, and of course it was to inspire a whole younger generation of girls who've been told science is not for girls,
Right.
or you'll get stopped and then there'll be a mommy track, and then what will you do? So it's to tell all those people, don't listen to anyone who tries to stereotype you, just go for it. So that's what it was. And now if I could request Vidya to read a small excerpt from the book, which is actually very similar to the role what she did as her role of Tara Shinde.
Oh, sure.
I've written it down. It's just.
Do I
Oh, no,
need
this
a
is a
mic?
different
Is this mic?
Hello? Yeah, that mic is fine. It's very similar, and then we'll have a small chat after that.
Okay, so
From here,
here.
car journeys till here. Or
Okay.
you can stop before also if you like. Wherever you like, you can stop.
Okay. Firstly, congratulations on the launch of the book, and I think that picture really spurred a lot of people's imaginations, and you ended up writing a book. People ended up writing film scripts, and I've been part of the film, which is the reason I'm here today. So yeah, I now every time anyone asks me how are you, I say Sab Kushal Mangal. So, the Magnificent Women and Their Flying Machines is what it's called.
This is Nandini's chapter.
Right, this is Nandini's chapter. Car journeys in, I haven't read it, so please bear with me in case I make some mistakes. Car journeys in Bengaluru can seem endless and exhausting. Sometimes they provide a glimpse into a person's innermost thoughts as conversations, like the traffic, take unexpected turns. I'm traveling in an Uber to Insight Academy in South Bengaluru, where Nandini Harinath has been invited to give a lecture to senior school students. This is part of an ISRO tradition. Suggested by former URSC director T.K. Alex to all senior scientists, urging them to go back to their hometowns and schools and talk to the children about what they do as space scientists. It is Bengaluru-born Nandini's turn today. The slender, spectacled scientist is impeccably dressed in a blue printed silk sari with earrings to match, a small bindi, and a Mangal Sutra around her neck. As we pass a temple en route, she remembers the evening before D-Day, the Mars MOI, on 24th September 2014. Since Prime Minister Narendra Modi was scheduled to attend, they had sanitized the entire mission operations complex as Istrak?
Istrak, yeah.
Istrak and cordoned it off with dogs in place and everything locked down. We were told we could not leave the campus. Whoever was inside had to stay there till the next morning for security reasons. No one was allowed in either. We'd finished our work. There was no uplink to be done as everything had been done a week in advance. So after dinner and the last interview by the chairman K. Radhakrishnan, who cleared it, all we had to do was wait and watch. Around 9:30 p.m., our boss and mission director Keshavaraju, Ritu and I decided to go visit a temple nearby. We were wearing new badges that indicated we had been checked in. I asked the security person at the gate if we could go out for a few minutes. The three of us went to the Shiva temple nearby. It's a small roadside temple that I used to stop at and pray before all important events since it's on the way to Istrak. At 9:30 p.m., obviously the shutters were down, but it has this grill through which you can see the deity even from outside. So we all prayed and then quietly returned by 10 p.m, feeling happy and relieved. You mean God will take care? I ask. Yes, she responds. On all important days, I have a few such rituals. I wear clothes that are given by my husband or my parents. I visit this temple on the way. I was once traveling with Keshavaraju and Mom Project Director S. Arunan on one such important day, and I was wondering how to tell them that I wanted to halt at the temple. As we came near the junction, I asked them if I could stop for 5 minutes to pray. They said, we will also come with you. So all of us got down and prayed. The normal image of scientists is that they aren't religious. Well, it is one thing to believe in God and that there is somebody who is above all of us. It is another to be superstitious. we don't believe in superstitions.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah?
That's right.
Oh, that's perfect. What a lovely excerpt. Because, like you rightly said, it's very similar to
Yeah.
my character's belief system in the film.
Yeah.
So, was it modeled on any particular scientist or it's an amalgamation?
No, it's an amalgamation. I think Jagan Shakti, the director, spoke to about 30, 40 scientists there. And then I think they just decided to fictionalize the lives of these women because obviously they didn't want to, it's about the mission.
Yeah.
The personal lives were, I think are sacred, which they didn't want to get into. So which is why they fictionalized it, and maybe there are, just so happens, maybe these things are things that, she shared, or, different scientists must have shared different things that inspired
Yes.
him to put it into the script, but none of us was told to follow a particular scientist.
That's very nice because it's exactly almost what you do in the film.
Right,
You know,
right.
you do the puja and then the
It actually exactly feels like me. I would do that,
Yeah, exactly.
including wearing a sari given to me by
Yeah.
Siddharth or my parents.
Yes.
So it felt like maybe I was just, fated to play this.
Yes, that's wonderful, and you really carry the film on your shoulders. I
Thank
really
you.
totally believe that. See, a book tells a story, but a film takes it much wider to a much larger audience. And I think the film has done a lot to popularize science. So,
Right.
was this an intentional thing, or is it a happy byproduct?
It is a happy byproduct, but it is one that we were hoping would happen. So I don't think it was really intended to make science popular, but the reason behind simplifying the science was so that, people who weren't familiar with scientific concepts or, technical terms would also get it. And then maybe we were hoping that kids would go and watch it, and that kids would, and it's amazing, Minnie, that there are so many people who are reaching out to me and saying, my kids watched the film and they loved it. And I've got voice messages from kids. I've got pictures of kids. There was one kid who made a rocket with Lego blocks. There was another who made just a rocket model with cardboard, And then there are these, my nephew said to me, he said, I want to be an astronaut or a space scientist. And I was surprised because he's always wanted to be a cricketer or a musician. So it's a complete, the power of the movies, it's just amazing. I don't know how long it will last, but at least they think that science is now cool.
Yes, yes.
I think that's what happens with watching a film, if it turns out okay.
No, when I went to see it, there were children in the front row
Yeah.
and they were all, seeing it really carefully. At the end, we asked a 10-year-old boy, so did you like it? He said, yes, I like the moments.
Oh, really?
I understand the science, I like the moments. So,
I love that.
Yeah, so I think it's going to go a long way to popularize. But speaking of science, did you find it hard to, come to terms with the scientific
Oh, absolutely. I don't have a scientific bent of mind
Me
at all.
neither, me neither.
I don't believe that.
No,
Because
no,
I
I
read
don't.
a little bit of the book.
No.
I'm sorry, but I've been so caught up with, so I didn't get a chance to read the entire book. I will do
please,
it now.
thank you.
Now
Thank
that Mangal is such a strong part of my life, I have to. But it's unbelievable that you would have. Of course, I think your focus was on the women in the mission.
Yes.
But it's interesting that you've written a book about science.
Yeah, I quit science, physics and maths in class 11.
Okay.
Very, very happily and thankfully. So I would ask the
I'm one
scientists.
step ahead of you. I did it in class 10. But yeah, I don't have a scientific bent of mind at all. I'm actually intimidated by
Yeah,
science.
me too.
Oh, really?
Me too. Yes.
Same pitch, no returns. That's what we do in school, no? But I think when I heard the narration, when it was read out to me by Bharti, that's what struck me. That the science was so simple that I got it. And I was like, if I have got it, then anyone will get it, That was very important to me.
Right.
Because, of course, I was still nervous because I'm not familiar with these. Like, I
Same
don't know
here,
what,
same
I'm
here.
sorry I might sound like an illiterate, but, I didn't know what payloads meant. before the
Neither
film.
did I.
Yeah,
Neither
oh
did I.
really?
No, no.
So-
And slingshot theories and
Yeah,
all. I had
yeah,
to
yeah,
ask Ritu again and again, and she would look at my blank face and say, "Okay, let's start again," and then do
Wow,
that.
but you had her explain it to you.
Yes,
How good is that?
Yes, I did. I did. Okay, the other thing that at least in my book, all of the 21 women that I interviewed, the one common factor was the feeling of pride that they had that they are working for the country, which I think is such a big thing,
Yeah.
and it's there in your film,
Yeah.
and I think that is what has touched a chord, and you have people clapping at the end.
Yeah,
When the
yeah, I
orbiter
heard.
reaches the Mars orbit, people are clapping. So I think you've tapped into that really well.
It's really no credit to me. It's the director, Jagan Shakti, who deserves all the credit for that. But I think, there was, I think when we read about it also, all of us felt very proud. But the thing is, there's so much happening on a day-to-day basis that I think, there's no better way to celebrate an achievement like this than a film which stays. It's not news that changes every second.
Sure.
Every second actually today. So I think that pride we felt anyway. So and it is a very proud moment
It
for
is.
us Indians.
It is.
And the way it happened, when you see the scale of it, the challenges they faced, and how they triumphed over everything else with more than anything else, self-belief.
Absolutely.
I think that's when you really feel like, I know people were telling me, we know it was a successful mission, but those last 20 minutes in the film were like goosebump inducing because you were so stressed.
Yeah.
And I think that is a great achievement for the film.
Yeah, I mean you're cheering for the protagonist,
Yeah,
even
yeah.
though you know that it all ended
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
but you're still on the edge of your
Yeah.
seat. So that's it. Also, I really felt you carried the film on your shoulders, so you didn't really need an Akshay. It was women power. Wasn't it? Wasn't it? It was women power. It was Vidya power. It was Vidya power.
Thank you, but honestly, I have very small shoulders. The rest of me may not be small. But jokes apart, I think it was really, the other thing that this film celebrated was team effort.
Yes, yes.
And while I believe that it's great that Akshay Kumar was in the film, so even if we didn't need him, we wanted him, and he was there. I think his stardom is a huge bonus for a film like this.
Of course.
And but I'm very happy that he decided to do a film where 5
Women.
female actors had
Yes.
very prominent roles.
Yes.
And after watching the film, everyone's saying that,
Yes.
everyone's role is justified, everyone. And like, there is no other way to say it except that, we really needed to celebrate the contribution of these women to the mission, because I believe this mission had 27%
Yes. No, actually 40. Almost 40.
40%
The
contribution
project
from
director
women.
said 40. Almost 40.
Wow, that's incredible. Because even if they have been involved in the past, I don't think they've got this prominence.
No.
And I don't think they've been involved to this extent, maybe.
Yeah.
So I really think
And
it's,
also for the first time in the Mars mission, ISRO allowed people to see,
Yeah.
these are the women, and they put stuff on social media, and so people tracked it. So it was first time it was really open. Otherwise, they used to earlier have missions and carry it on page 17 in a small para, and now it's always every time front page.
right.
So that's a big shift.
No, absolutely. I think there's a shift. I think there's a bigger, I think the government is planning to increase their,
Yes.
what is the word?
Visibility.
No.
No.
Focus.
Focus,
Thank
ah.
you. The focus on science. So
Right,
I think the
right.
amount of investment in that
Yes.
is going to increase and all that. So I think it's a positive trend. And having said that, we were talking about the mission itself had so many prominent women
Yes.
that
Yes.
it's actually thanks to them that you paid me
Thank
this
you.
compliment. No,
Thank
really.
you. Thank you.
It is, that's what it is. So I can take the credit for everything, but the truth is, the reality warranted that.
Okay. Okay. Last question, and then we'll open it up to people.
Yeah.
I believe you're playing Shakuntala Devi in the
Yes.
as your next
So
role.
from science to maths, my
Exactly.
parents' dreams come true this year.
So I think you're going to be the icon, for a lot of young girls.
You know, at least
Rather than the actual
most South
scientists.
Indians do science or maths.
Yes.
And I'm sure my parents have poor things felt like, our child has done neither. Now they'll be satisfied
Yes.
that I traversed both worlds within 1 year, faster than what the rest of them have done.
So do you have to do prep for that also?
No, of course I have. But it's not so much the maths itself because, I'm going to fake it. They're going to give me answers and I'm going to write it on the board. But I think I need to be familiar with her person.
Yeah.
She was, like I keep saying, the only computer in the world with a
Yes.
sense of humor has to have been Shakuntala
Yes,
Devi.
absolutely.
What a wicked sense of humor. So I'm actually trying to get a hold on all that,
Okay.
on the person she was, and what a journey
Yes.
from where to where. So, I'm actually, you brought it up and you made me nervous. I feel like I should go back home and
And read some maths books. Okay, we'll open it to the audience.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you a
Yes.
question. I've seen this movie 3 times, Mission Mangal.
Oh, wow!
Yeah.
You're already my favorite in the audience unless someone has seen it more.
my books later.
Great.
Okay. The movie you say, about this movie has come at a time when the Chandrayaan 2 is going to land
Yeah,
on 7th
yeah,
at
yes.
There is a talk that now you all are planning a movie on Chandrayaan 2 because in the movie you say that why not we take the payloads of
Yeah.
Chandrayaan 2. Is there any truth in it? How far is it true?
It's not true, but I'm happy to spread the rumor. Maybe, you never know when a lie becomes the truth.
Yeah.
The truth. So,
I'm waiting to see this movie.
no,
the fourth
I'd
time
love
next
to
week.
do it. My only thing is they have to have me in it.
Sure they will. You play the role of Ritu Karidar.
It's done. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's a really powerful thing.
You said computer with a sense of humor,
Yeah.
and I think computer with a sense of humor has to be a woman.
Right.
So
Absolutely. And she was. What an incredible woman.
Congratulations, Vidya.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Minnie. At this point of time, what comes to my mind is, I think this is a movie which has to be permanently in one of the theatres, like the Dilwale Dulhania.
Okay, I love you too.
Seriously, because all
Thank you.
generations where children can, get an opportunity to see this and get
I've
inspired.
never seen a movie like this.
Oh, thank you.
In fact, I bought the DVD and gave it to my friend there and sent one today, that lady in Chennai.
1 minute, where did you buy the DVD from?
Flora Fountain.
No, you shouldn't have, sir. I'm really.
We can't leave without the movie.
That's piracy. It'll be on one of the platforms very soon. Please ask your friend to wait for that. But thank you so much. No, I think that's a lovely compliment. I'm going to put it, we have a film group.
Yes.
And I'm going to put your compliment on the film group for sure. Everyone's going to be thrilled that you said that.
Thank you.
I really hope it is.
Hello,
Anyone
ma'am.
else?
Hello.
Hello. Oh, sorry. Hi.
Hi. I would like to ask you who invented this concept of home science, of puris and all. Very interesting in the film.
Yeah, I think the credit for that goes to the writers.
Okay.
Balki, Jagan Shakti, a couple of other people. What a fantastic interpretation of the theory.
Okay.
Because we all do that in our, even, when a rickshaw stops, because there's no diesel, you must have seen them tilt the rickshaw. वो थोड़ा और चला लेते हैं, फिर tilt करते
I
हैं.
told my uncle to stop the engine in between to save fuel and then start it again.
Look at that, they do that with scooters and bikes also.
Yeah.
So exactly, I think they interpreted it so
I'd like to give
beautifully.
you this. Can I come?
How sweet,
Okay.
of course. Are you okay? Should I come to you?
I'll come.
No, I'll come to you, don't worry.
This is the Ganpati and may God bless you always and peace with the given. Thank
Thank you. That's lovely. Thank you. Just before Ganesh Chaturthi, I get a little Ganpati. I love it.
Anyone else?
विद्या any real life में ऐसे आपने कोई जुगाड़ किया हो जिस तरह से आपने पूरी की बात
अरे एक्टर्स का काम ही है जुगाड़. आप सवाल पूछते हैं तब भी हम जुगाड़ से ही आंसर देते हैं. साइंस वाला कोई जुगाड़ अभी ध्यान में तो नहीं आ रहा, पर नहीं जरूर किया तो बहुत कुछ है. नहीं, he's saying लाइफ में, not in movies, पर बहुत मैं जुगाड़ू हूँ, नंबर 1 जुगाड़ू. They should make a film with me like that.
Talking of the magnificent woman, actually, like any person whom you consider as a very magnificent and you have inspired to that woman.
Honestly, not one. I think all around me I see examples of women who are living lives on their own terms, who are trying to realize their dreams, and each one of them is an inspiration in some way or the other. Fascinating stories I hear all the time. सिर्फ मार्स तक भेजने से नहीं, आप कुछ भी कर लो, I think it's a big achievement.
Did you meet any of the Mars women? I mean, in real life?
No, unfortunately, no.
Would you like to?
Of course, I'd love to.
I'll send the request on.
Oh, yeah,
your
I'd
behalf.
love to. I'd love to just go and, shake hands with them and maybe take them flowers. Just basically say.
Appreciate what they do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Vidya, you spoke about inspirational women.
Yeah.
You are an inspiration to all the new actors that you spoke on.
Thank you.
Casting couch so, publicly, because there are people who actually don't talk about it.
Right.
So, any message to those newcomers, to those new actors, who might come across such situations?
Honestly, I'd even forgotten about this incident because thankfully nothing happened. But that day in the course of the interview, I remembered it after years. And, but I was very fortunate that nothing happened to me. There was no force, there was no molestation, there was nothing. But I really think that no opportunity is big enough for you to have to compromise your safety. There's lots of work out there, and if you're good and if you believe in yourself, I think nothing is impossible. So don't give in to people who use this as a bait. Thank you.
The entire setting was in Mumbai.
Yes,
I would
absolutely.
love to see it. Is it still there?
No. You know how we are, no? Sets are erected and then brought down.
Fantastic.
Come in
Thank
front.
you.
I was there for the launch
Oh,
as
wow.
well for the Mars orbiter insertion to present in his track.
He's
Wow.
a space journalist.
Yeah.
My God, I think this movie keeps me very close to the reality.
Wow.
I tell you.
Thank you. Thank you.
He's R.K. Lakshman sir. R.K. Lakshman sir.
Oh.
Srinivas Lakshman.
Tate was my boss. I'm quite scared of him. I didn't know he was coming.
Lovely to meet you.
Anyone else?
Yeah.
Vidya, there are
Hi,
lots of
hi.
Hi ma'am. So ma'am, very soon you will be seen in Indira, India's most powerful Prime Minister. Your comment on that?
Not very soon. It's going to take time because it's a web series and that requires a lot of work to put together. So maybe a couple of years. Yeah.
मैम सब लोग आजकल जो बॉलीवुड है वो सरकार को पुश करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं और आप विपक्ष का आप कर रहे हैं, वेब सीरीज आप कर रहे हैं, तो आर यू नॉट अनकंफर्टेबल?
I think Indira Gandhi is when I think of powerful women, that's the first name that comes to mind.
Yes.
And I'm very party agnostic. I have nothing to do with any party. Yeah, that's all. This is not about a party. This is about an individual who goes beyond the party.
Vidya, there are lots of social issues in the country, but then any particular issue which is very dear to you and you would really like to work on that particular, especially for the women?
I think a lot of women-related issues, yeah, but I don't want to just pay lip service and say I want to do this, that and the other when the opportunity presents itself. I hope I do my bit. I try and do my bit from time to time, but there's a lot more to be done.
But there is some issue which are really you feel that this has to be, have you really told me about?
There are lots of issues tied in with the empowerment of women. It's not one, it's a very complex cause. So anything that helps me further the cause of women, I'm interested in that.
And you'll soon become a science expert.
Hi.
I love the title of the book and the emphasis it places on women.
Thank
and
you.
I think the same, I love the film. I really do wish your place was bigger than Akshay Kumar's.
Yes, I said the same thing. Exactly.
And I have two questions. Minnie, are you working on any other book right now? Because I am familiar with your previous work, so I'm curious about that. And yeah, in the Shakuntala Devi film, one of the really nice things about Shakuntala Devi is also, and a lesser known fact is that she wrote this book called The World of Homosexuals.
Yes,
for her
absolutely.
gay husband. I was curious to know whether that will be brought into the film or no. Thank you.
Let's just say, we are going to be as close to the truth as possible, but I don't want to spill the beans on the film. It's way too soon, we've not even started shooting. But it is incredible that she wrote about it in the 70s.
And so compassionate.
Yeah, so compassionate.
Sorry. Yes, I'm working on a fiction book this time, for the first time. Yeah. So, Mark. No, not. Can't do that.
Yeah, is that all?
That's it?
Thank you.
Thank you all very, very much. Yeah, of course. Thank you.
This is on India's Martian Odyssey. Second book. This is the first one. This is the tiniest satellite. The Chennai.
lovely.
Have a look. It's
I will. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
नीचे आ जाने दो.
ये आ रहा है बीच में.
Yeah. I was just going to suggest that.
left side. I think we need to settle down a bit.
Thank you so much.
Guys, can you just take some photos?
Excuse me,
Ma'am, can we do this later, please? We just need to take some pictures. Minnie, let's take that picture.
Thank you.
Ma'am, your left side. Ma'am, your left side, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Apparently, your sister. One click. Maybe one day. When she was standing there, you should keep writing that. It's such a bad job.
Vidya is my aunt there, Bala. Will you please sign the book for her? And one more for Reva. Reva, R-E-W-V-A, sorry, R-E-V-A. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Vidya, one for my son.
Sure, what's his name?
Sudarshan. Oh, he's going to be mighty thrilled. Thank you, I truly appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Rosie, she's a cop in Assam. And one Blessy, she's a school principal. B-L-E-S-S-I-E.
What's your step, Vidya?
चलते रहो
Hi Vidya. Hi Vidya. Just one question. How happy you feel in London?
थोड़ा साइड फील्ड किया करो इधर का सर भैया संचिता उधर देख लो
मैच आ रहा है
मैम थोड़ा आगे आइए मैम लोग क्या मैम लोग क्या संचिता देख लो विजय मैम सर मैम लेफ्ट साइड में विजय मैम लियो मैम लेफ्ट में मैम लोग क्या
Thank you. Sanchita, please take one picture. I'll let you. I click the room.
Light is terrible.
It's pretty on you. Only on me it looks like crazy.
Vidya ma'am.
Hi Simran, how are you?
All good.
So sweet, thank you. Thank you. God will bless you. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you.
Okay Vidya, see you soon.
See you.
All the best.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you.